Hey, Scary Story writers, it's Mrs. McDermott. I want to talk to you a little bit about your next steps. So, I have been loving the writing that you did yesterday. I was like screaming out loud reading some of them. They were so good. I cannot wait to see where these stories end up. So, you did just some thinking, some working on elements of fiction and I want us to start now thinking about just kind of pre-writing without actually like starting to write. I want us to kind of piece a story together before you actually start to write. Because writing a short story is hard. You only have so many words and so many pages, and so you really need to think about what you're going to say, how you're going to write it, how you're going to say it, make every single word count. Okay, so just to kind of run you through what's happening, you're going to write this scary story. And so today and Thursday/Friday, depending on when you do this lesson, and then next Monday, you'll walk through pieces of putting this story together. So just to show you, there kind of stations, I guess, but not really. Because again, if we didn't have a global pandemic going on, I would have you kind of run around the room and visit all these stations and work on separate pieces of your story. So you're going to have to kind of do that virtually here through this presentation. So these are the due dates that you will be honoring. So today you're going to work on just step one, which I'll explain. Thursday or Friday, I might have to change that, right? Because some of you will be doing it on Friday. You'll be doing step two, and then Monday in class and at home, you'll be doing step three. So you should have kind of your story planned out by the end of the night on Monday. So each one of these doors will lead you to a station, a virtual station, and you will complete each part. So again, right now, today, you're just focusing on step one. So if you click on step one, you are going to work on just the conflict, planning out the conflict, and then each stage of your plot as you move. So you can click on the disgusting zombie to begin. So the first slide will tell you what you need to work on. So what a conflict is, you should be familiar with these things: person versus person, self, society, nature. And of course, because we're doing spooky stories, this could be the supernatural as well. So again, you should only kind of have one conflict because it's a short story, and you don't want too many things going on in your story because you just don't have room. You're not writing a novel, you're just doing a short story. So you're going to run through this. You'll notice on this space, on this assignment, there's a little bit more room for you to write. So here's a place for you to just brainstorm ideas for conflict, and you can write as many down as you want. Again, if you prefer to write on paper, because I know you have iPad minis and they are sometimes ill-equipped for typing and other things, I know I couldn't use them. So if you would like to, feel free to just write in your writer's/reader's notebook and then just take a picture and insert it before you, submit the final thing. Then you will start thinking today about plot. And remember this, right? It's kind of the hill that every story follows. The exposition, of course, is the beginning. Then you have the rising action, the conflict, everything's building. You have the most exciting part, or the turn in your story, which is where you realize, whoa, that wasn't what I thought it was, or whatever. And it's kind of the shocking point. Remember, R.L. Stine said there should be lots of small shocks, right? And then you have falling action, and then of course how your story resolves itself. So this kind of brings you through that hill, that plot line. And again, you'll see spots for each part of the plot line. So where do you want, what are some ideas you have for the setting, kind of what you want in the beginning of your story. What do you want the conflict to be? And again, you can write down several of these and they don't have to be related at all. You might have 3 different ideas after doing some pre-writing yesterday and be like, well, I thought about doing this, but I also liked this one that I wrote about and this idea is intriguing. So again, this is just pre-writing. You're not, actually writing a paragraph or anything. You're just kind of jotting about what you want to write about. What do you think the most exciting part is going to be? How is your story going to come to a climax? How do you think it's going to resolve itself? And remember, the falling action stage is pretty quick. There's not a lot of stuff that happens, especially in a scary story. You've noticed after reading these that a lot of them just boom ended, right? And you were like, okay, so that could be something you want to utilize. And then how are you going to tie it all up? What's that last line going to be that leaves the readers going, okay. So you'll do that and then you'll see that this brings you back to the menu and that's what you need to complete for today. Okay. So you're going to do the conflict and then the kind of plot line ideas. All right. And then you are done. You will not submit today. You will not do anything. You will save what you have because it's in Google Drive and it always saves. And then Thursday or Friday, depending on when you do the lesson, you'll start working on step 2. And then Monday, you'll go through door number 3. All right, writers, get to it. Off you go. Boo!